You know that regional Victoria stands at the top of my list of the questions that the Premier needs to answer about why is regional Victoria in lockdown right now. Perfect example about the double standards that exist, where if the problem is in Melbourne, and the problem is still only, 20-something cases, there's no need for the entirety of Melbourne to be locked down. You know that. There's certainly no need for the entire region to be locked down. And there was a fascinating story that my dear friend Chris Kenny, remember, prime time starts 5 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Time every single day here on Sky News, is that while the Australian Open is taking place right now in central Melbourne, a tennis tournament in regional Victoria was not allowed to go ahead on the weekend because of the lockdowns. Here's the local mayor talking to Chris.
We all recognise the virus, is what it is, and we need to take precautions. But locking down the whole state just seemed to us to be a lot of overkill. Well, the irony's not lost on too many around here, Chris. We're just shaking our heads.
This is outrageous. It is ridiculous. The idea that because we couldn't get the ring of steel in place, then everyone in country Victoria where there is no sign of the virus at all needs to be locked in their house as if they were the worst suburb. Which brings me to the question of what are the worst suburbs? We talked to the health people in Victoria today to try to give us a list of the local government areas, not the suburbs, not the streets, not the house numbers, but the council areas where the 20 COVID cases currently exist. They wouldn't give it to us. Now, they, all the way through the second wave, literally listed every single local government area that had had a case historically, that had an active case, and that had a resolved case. So they have a way to count this. But for some reason, they are not telling us the third time around. I don't know, but it leads to questions, which is it that there is just a pocket of one bit of Melbourne that seems to be the problem, and therefore there is no need to lock down all of Melbourne? Is it because there is a concentration in one part of Melbourne that means you can't justify the regional lockdown? Now, government does its best to spin information, but when they hide information, that's a problem.